Well, I think to start at a new club go, I think we're doing pretty well. Hello there, how you doing? Welcome to part number 2 of Club 5 here on the MyCareer series on Football Manager 24. But not for long, because we know FN26 has officially now been announced. By the time this comes out, it will have been after a couple of weeks, so bear with it. But yes, so that's some good news. But it is still FN24, and we are going to see this save out with a bang. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we're going to be playing against Darmstadt 98 and Wolfsburg. They're going to be the two teams. I'm not going to do a Champions League game today. We're going to continue to just settle into the club for this episode, and then we're going to go with a big Champions League game in the next video. I've already plotted it out what we're going to do in the next video. I know, it's unlike me to prepare, but we're going to be playing the two aforementioned teams, and we're going to continue to see if we can get a good continuance to the start in the Bundesliga. I've got my words mixed up there, apologies. But you can see the table here. We'll go to the full table and have a quick look at it. Currently 5th, but bear in mind we have played a game less than most of the teams around, so there is a clear runner at the moment, and it's RB Leipzig. Now, we have, as it stands, drawn and lost one game. The loss was against Leipzig. Remember, they were champions last season. The draw, annoyingly, was against Werder Bremen, who are... Where are you? To be fair, they're 4th. They're having a very good start to the season as well. So, not the best start, but it's been a good start. I'm pretty happy with how things are going, considering we're new to the club and we've brought a lot of new players in. Speaking of which, the final outlay of the summer transfer window, £300 million. We made 298, though. I'm really impressed with how much money that we made. So, we've only spent £2 million. Overall out of the two. However, we did bring one final player in, and I had looked at this guy at both Wolves and Arsenal. Sadiq Solomon. He was German and played at Frankfurt, so he ticks both of the boxes that the club wants us to do. He's a playmaker. He comes in basically to be our new Michael Schockwist. I did look at David Abix, who plays for Leipzig. I did look at him. It would be too expensive, but this guy just had a bit of a bargain on him, and so far he's been pretty excellent, actually. Champions League wise, hasn't done that much just yet, but in the league he's got a couple of 3 goals in fact, and started 5 games. He's basically going to be the superstar of the future at 20 years old, which is great. I mean, we have got like a handful of really good young players. I've also been tweaking the tactic. With some games the 4-2-3-1 worked, some games it didn't. We have been kind of going along a little bit and tweaking things as we go. We kind of went for the first month with that tactic up until the Hamburg game, where we switched it around. Well, basically the first 2 games we kept it with the 4-2-3-1. So we did beat Dortmund 2-1. That was a bit of a difficult one. I think we actually did have to shift the tactic around in that one. We did. And then we did a little bit of tactical shifting in that one as well. A diamond has been appealing, but I've not fully committed to that just yet. But then we have kind of, well, we played a couple of games with it, and then we have at the moment, after a really good game against Hoffenheim and then a really good Champions League game against Manchester United, settled on the 4-3-2-1 that we're using, which is kind of like a big diamond, if you think. Like, it's not a diamond midfield, it's a diamond attacking, like that attacking 6. So that's what we're going with, and you can see they're all very, very good. Now, we're light on numbers, I'm not going to lie. We probably should have brought someone else in the transfer window, which we didn't do. So we are getting a lot of football in some of our boys, in particular the attacking-minded players, the attacking midfielders particularly, because we've really only got Ansu Fati, who's a rotation option for these two, because Musiala is now a midfielder. We could not get a good game out of him as an attacking midfielder, but it turns out he needed to be a central midfielder. So he's great. Now, the problem with Solomon is it pushed Marc Bernal out of the team, other than the fact that I realised his second best position as a defensive midfielder is a half-back, so I'll put him at half-back. His positioning is fantastic at 16, so I'm quite content to play him there. It does mean Stefan Bajetic doesn't really need to be here anymore, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. Don't panic. So, yeah, things looking good. Really happy with the business that we've done so far, but we've got important things to discuss, and that is the game against Darmstadt 98, and this is the 11 that we're going to be using for it. It is pretty much one of our strongest 11s. It is Mamardashvili in goal, Tokic, Chatzi, Lukeba, and Medeiros in goal. Still not had a look at Chatzi's name. I'm just going to go with Chatzi. Bernal, Musiala, and Solomon are the kind of more restrained midfield 3. Then we've got Palmer and Alexiev supporting Elia Wahi up front. At the moment, the best player that we've got, if you're looking at the ratings, is probably going to be, oddly, Cole Palmer. He's very hit and miss there. That big game thing is real. Genuinely real. There are some games where he's been anonymous at. I would actually say my player of the season so far has been Alexiev. He's looked fantastic. But Musiala, since he's moved here, has looked really good as well. And actually, Marko Tokic Better than 2. He's gone up to 3 stars. Finally, there we go. We've now got a full squad, full 11, I should say, that's got 3 stars, which is fabulous. Hope none of them get injured, touch wood. Let's get to the game and let's see whether we can get another 3 points in the league. We should be able to beat this team. They're very much of the level that we should be expecting a win from. So let's see whether we can do just that. I've really enjoyed my time so far here at the club. So I'm excited to see how the season unfolds and to see whether we can get the title back. Obviously, they've won every league title in this save other than last season, which is why the manager, Graham Potter, got sacked. Graham Potter, by the way, he went to Arsenal. So we did literally do the manager merry-go-round never happens because we did a swap of managers. So crazy times we live in. But underway we go. Wolves, by the way, currently second in the Premier League. Sorry, Wolves or Arsenal? Oh, I can't remember. Arsenal have had a bad start. Wolves are second. Arsenal have had a bad start, though. So we'll have a quick check on them at some point in this video. But I think Wolves are currently second in the league. Arsenal struggling to get going to begin with. I mean, they had 2 of our reject players from Bayern Munich. So, you know, it is what it is. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, I remembered to change the frame. I didn't do it in the first episode of this part of the save, but I have done it now. Cole Palmer's gone to school, by the way. This is, by the way, a Cole Palmer who's not very happy because he's on the transfer list. Well, I don't know if he's unhappy about that. He's unhappy because he wants to leave, I think, because his head did get turned by the Saudi offers and no one actually put in a decent offer for him. But he's still playing very well in games that don't mean anything. So if he can pan out goals today, that'd be great. I'd love that. But yeah, I think he's definitely someone we need to move on and utilise that money to get someone else in. Again, although he's obviously not a young player, Noah Darvic is the guy I would like to. Elia Wahi's just stolen that lad's lunch money. Like, absolutely mugged him. Let's watch that again. So, what he intercepts there, gets it to Bernal, into Palmer. Palmer running with it to get tackled. No, it's a poor pass, and it's the guy who's injured, and Eliawahi's just like, I'll take that, thank you. And it's 2-0, just like that. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. That's taken me completely off the point that I was talking about. Probably wasn't much of a point. Oh yeah, Noah Darvic. I would happily swap Palmer for Darvic. I know people think I'm mad because look at Cole Palmer, look how good he is. That big match thing, though, I tell you what, it's noticeable. Against Leipzig, it was very noticeable. And I don't think we deserved to lose that game. It was 2-1. It should have been 1-1, really. Did not deserve to lose it. It was kind of a bit of heartbreak. And Cole Palmer really was poor in that one, to the point where I nearly subbed him off after bringing him on as a sub because I didn't start him because I knew he wouldn't be very good. We're passing the ball around beautifully here. But this is the paradox of Cole Palmer, you see, in this save. I don't know whether that's one of his traits in every save, but if not, he's picked it up in this save. He's a fabulous player. But I know that against Leipzig, he's not going to be that. Against Dortmund, he's not going to be that. Against the biggest teams in Europe, he's not going to do this. And that makes me just not be interested in it. I skipped that, by the way. Sorry, if you didn't want to watch that, apologies. So I kind of watch him do it with a bit of a, I don't know. I felt really mixed emotions about it. Really mixed emotions indeed. Right, Medeiros. I mean, it was basically been the only left back at the club, really. I've got the youngster who did pick up a slight knock, so I've not really used him. And also, don't have enough room on the bench for all the players I'd want to put on there. But then all the players I want to put on there is the entirety of the squad, which is only like, I want to say it's like 20 people. Like normally, I'd at least like to have one rotation option for every position. If everyone's fit, we're short by one, and not everyone's fit. So, you know, it is a bit of a problem. Musiala, by the way, also having a fabulous game in midfield. Alexi's doing well. Everyone's doing well. The centre-backs haven't been bothered that much. I'm happy. I'm very happy indeed. This is a good performance so far. And it'll put us just 2 points off of Leipzig. Admittedly, they've got a game in hand. And so do another team as well. So we do have to take that with the slightest pinch of salt. Right. We'll say that one. I think I'm going to leave everything. I don't need to have a chat with anyone, I don't think. I'm just looking at Medeiros and Musiala, and I'm just thinking, do we sub them? Now, again, the youngster, he's on the bench, actually, Forster. So let's bring him on for Medeiros, get him some game time. We're 3-0 up. I think we can afford to do that. And Musiala is tiring. And this is the problem. Cole Palmer can play in that position. And to be fair, if we do that, this is the problem. We then don't have anyone who can play in it instead, because I want to take off Musiala. This is where we're short. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Solomon there. Bernal's going to go back to his playmaker position, and I'm going to bring on Eric Martel, who needs the game time. And we're just going to do that for no other reason than they're tiring, and I want to try and just make sure we don't burn through the squad. I'm very aware that we are short on numbers, especially with injuries. We do still have about £50 million and about £250,000 a week, so we can get a body in January, but I didn't want to rush to do that this time and bring the wrong player in. I want the right player to approach. I should have really had a word with the lads and just motivated them, but I didn't, so it is what it is. 98 have got, it's Darmstadt, I think it was. I forgot the name. This is the problem. I know Premier League teams, I know English teams, but German teams, I know a handful of them, and that's it. So I'm going to have to learn them. Right, Solomon, into Alexiv, into Bernal, into Solomon. Lovely passing here, by the way. Into Alexiv. Alexiv's going to probably get that across to Eliawahi, and Eliawahi is going to go and get another one, because that's what he does. And Alexiv, he looks great in that attacking midfield position. When I've tried him as a striker, he hasn't looked right. But in this attacking midfield position, he just likes to drop deep, find space. It just does things to just make things happen, which is great. There was a slight deflection there, I think. Doesn't matter, because the intent was there, and Eliawahi manages to poke it in the back of the net, which is good to see. It's good to see a striker, touch wood, the table is made of wood, who is putting the ball in the back of the net when those chances come to him. Villalba and Pitchford, particularly Pitchford, just did not fill me with confidence. Sadiq Solomon, I wasn't put off by him previously, but he didn't thrill me when I scouted him when I was at both Wolves and Arsenal. Like, there wasn't anything about him that made me kind of go, he's the guy for us. The main reason I've signed him is because we needed a player desperately. And he was German at a German club, and it helped the criteria that the club wanted us to fulfill. I'll be honest, that's the only reason he got signed. I'm delighted that I signed him. Very delighted. I mean, I'd like him to get a few more assists. That is why he's in the team. But you know what? As long as we benefit from his presence, I'm not overly bothered. 5-0 before we even get to 60 minutes is a great performance for us. Right, Bernal goes back to Costello Jr. I mean, there's a part where it doesn't have the junior, so that does confuse me a little bit. Right, Bernal now, getting a bit further forward where we can have a bit more of an effect on the team. Into Martel, the defensive midfielder. To Tokic, we know him well. To Solomon, we're getting to know him well. And Eliawahi skies it over. It was, I think, it wasn't offside, actually. I thought it was. I'm really glad he did that at 5-0. If he did it at, like, 0-0, I'd have been furious. Right, we are dumping them at the moment. They've got a little bit of match momentum there, but is he going to swing back up to here? Yeah, it is. Of course it is. They've only had the one chance so far in the game. We've dominated possession. We are looking good. We are looking very good. Right, I'm just thinking of fitness again. I'm thinking Lukeba or Chatzi. I think Lukeba can have a break. Todibo can come on and get a few more minutes under him. I'm actually going to give Tokic a rest as well for Sopsic, who isn't doing badly at all so far at the club. So we'll give him a little bit of a break too. And it just gives Todibo and Sopsic a bit more time in the squad. We haven't made it as early as I probably would have liked to, but it gives them about 20 minutes on the pitch. That's definitely going to benefit them. And Forster obviously getting a bit of an extended period in the team as well in this game. It's extended, it's half a game, but you know, it's more than he has been getting. Right, Todibo, Sopsic, substitutions combining. He's going to go back to the keeper. Now goes back to Todibo instead. That's fine. Quite happy for us to hold on to possession until an opportunity presents itself. Very much so. Right, Palmer bides his time. Back to Todibo. Todibo out wide to Sopsic. Nicely done. Sopsic with a little bit of room. He kind of would benefit from someone helping him. Into Alexiv. Alexiv with the looping header. Keeper had to be confident there. That went just wide. It was low enough, the shot in the end, to creep under the bar, but it was just wide. Really good, really professional performance from us here. Very happy indeed. For my final trick, I would take off Wahi or Palmer, but they're both on hat-tricks, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not a monster. I think we'll make... So I've got a young attacking midfielder who I didn't put on the bench, which is annoying. Thinking Roll, maybe, who is a playmaker more than anything. Yeah, let's bring him on, because he hasn't had a few minutes recently either. So let's bring him on for Bernal. Let's do that. In fact, we'll swap Solomon and Roll around because he prefers to be an advanced playmaker. And Solomon, prefers to be an advanced playmaker, but in the contract negotiations, he wanted to be a deep line playmaker, and his tackling is such that he makes a good deep line playmaker and plays well there as well. But he can do both of them quite adequately well. I think I've used him as an attacking midfielder in a game as well, and he looked pretty decent there too. He's just an all-round good player. Right, roll, first touch of the ball, into Chatsy, into Solomon. Solomon out wide to Stopsich. Heavy touch, gets it out from under him. Going for the shot. I don't blame him at this point. It's 5-0, might as well. Go for it. Treat yourself. Right. I think that might be all of the goalmouth action. Well, we've got one more highlight. Shows what I know. Right, Chatsy gets it from the keeper, Mamadashvili. Out wide to Forster. Forster. Not had a terrible game. Not had a particularly explosively lively game, but he's done okay. He's done the job that we sent him out there to do. Alexiev now. Just really well to hold the ball up there. I tell you, we've got a gem on our hands with him. We really do. I can't believe people weren't in for him as much as we thought. It is Darmstadt. I got the name right. I can't believe it was only like Leeds and Everton, Premier League wise, who were in for him, and none of the big clubs were. Because he's a gem, absolute gem. Like, and he's going to get better and better. He's a 5-star potential wonder kid. Like, there's no doubt about that in my mind whatsoever. He's going to be a superstar. Right, Solomon. Tackled, but keeps the ball because he's just that good. Right, Alexei, ball into Roll. Roll makes it 6, and it's an assist for Alexei, who has been getting a few assists so far this season. Dominant performance. The next game will be the test against Schalke. Is it Schalke, I think, or is it... No, it's Wolfsburg, sorry. Schalke is coming up soon in the Pakal. But no, we've got Wolfsburg coming up. That is going to be the big test. It's away from home as well. Away from home is where we lost our only game so far, which was obviously against Leipzig, slightly different. So we do need to be wary of that. Wolfsburg are lower down, though, so, you know, it is one of them. It's absolutely fine. I think we can get past them. But that is a very good performance. A couple of assists for Alexiev, 2 goals for Wahi, 2 goals for Palmer, 2 assists for Musiala, a goal for Solomon, and yeah, perfect. And a goal for Roll as well. Really happy with that performance. That is, it said there, comprehensive victory. Right, lovely. I'm now going to go away, get through those few days, and we'll come back for that. We'll come back for Wolfsburg. Claiming credit for this, I don't care. Raul Iglesias is the under-21 footballer of the year. Second, Conrado Villalba. 2 absolute banging signings that we made there. Just to confirm with Arsenal, currently 9th in the Premier League. They have not started life well under Graham Potter, as confirmed. That is the Premier League table as it is. As you can see, Wolves 1 point off top at the moment. Did we rebuild Wolves better than we built up Arsenal? I don't know. I think it might just be that Arsenal are getting a little bit unlucky. I think looking at their squad, it is still very good. They've obviously added someone like Levi Roast, who wasn't here before. Darvic is on the bench. Narcotta's on the bench. Catanano's on the bench. Villalba's on the bench. It's a bit confusing as to why some of these players are on the bench. They're not starting either Pitchford or Villalba. They're starting Methistella striker, which he's obviously not doing a very good job with the 6.3 rating. Although he got 6 goals, so there is that. I mean, it's furious. I'm infuriated to see Darvic is on the bench as well. Chokwitz is in an attacking midfield position. They're not playing a central midfield position, although he can do attacking midfield, to be fair. We've seen him do that quite well, actually, so I'll shut up. Although, again, not the season that he's having much good fortune in at the moment. So, very interesting to see how they're not doing so well. Wolves, on the other hand, still with Ange Postecoglou. Still doing very well. Second in the league. And they've still got a very, very good squad of players. Very good squad indeed. I mean, including the man himself, Atuesta, who's already got 6 goals this season, doing very well. Dreads big matches, but still apparently doing very well. But they've got Igor Ayono, who can do things as well, apparently, which is great. Also, Stephen Finn. It's interesting to see that he's actually made it onto the bench. So maybe he will make something of himself, of course, from Charlton. Keepers apparently having had a shocking time in recent times. But you can see their squad's still very good. We built a good squad and we added some good young players. And Ben Cook's even got a couple of goals as well, which is good to see. Right. I am literally like the day before the game against Wolfsburg. So let's just accelerate on and let's just see if we can get to it, shall we? While we're here. Might as well. It'll save a cut. Might as well. So the plan obviously for this season, I've already talked about it and I'll continue to talk about it, is that we're looking to settle in as quickly as possible and then make a serious challenge for the Champions League. Whether that'll be this season or not, I don't know. Sorry, it went a bit glitchy then. I apologise for the edit. I don't think it will be this season. I think this will be kind of like Arsenal. We'll try and spend one season settling in. And then we're going to hopefully have everything we need to kind of get on board with the Champions League proper challenge next season. And then obviously we'll have a few more kind of transfers to kind of do everything there. Let me just sort this out because this is a little bit of nonsense. Bear with me. There we go. That'll do. Right. Oh, I went completely off the screen then. That was a bit silly. Right. I don't see a reason to change anything. The one thing I have had to do is change keeper. Kudrikov comes in because we have got a knock to Mamadashvili. So I did have to go into the second team in the under-19s to bring in Frank Ihrig, who is going to be the backup goalkeeper for us. I'm going to put Schnitzler on the bench for Bajetic. We're not really using Bajetic that much recently, so we'll just quickly do that. Fatty's still got a while to go. Oh yeah, I should mention Antti Fatty's injured. I don't think I've talked about that. He was out for a couple of months. We're now only got 2 to 4 weeks without him, which is good to see. This is the youngster I wanted to put on the bench in the last game, by the way, but actually he's got a bit of an injury, so can't really do it anyway. But this is the 11 we're going to go for. Keeper's changed. Rest of the squad is the same. Good? Good. We'll go with that. Right. Get to it and let's see what we can do. Wolfsburg not having a great season at the moment, as we kind of looked at in the previous game, so I'm not overly worried about how this game is going to go, but you never know. They could just turn around and surprise us in this one, and we need to be reactive. I feel like in this game I have gotten good against the AO in particular, or I've improved, I should say, rather than got good. I've improved on being reactive and changing things to try and combat the AI. I'm not brilliant at it, but every now and then I do manage to turn things around and just make stuff happen. Leipzig, by the way, at the moment have just developed a lead. We're going to need them to slip up at some point, and I think as an absolute must, we need to beat them in the home game in the league. There's no two ways about that. Penalty referee, obviously not. Alexeyev does a great job of winning the ball back there. Gets it back to Palmer, into Elia Wahi, and he's hit the post there, but it is an offside for Elia Wahi. Starting off strong, starting off in the kind of attacking momentum, which is great, but we do need to be getting chances not just on target, but also on side as well. Otherwise, it's not going to matter too much. Swarming forward again here, Palmer. What I love about this formation with the narrow attacking midfielders is that they drift outside anyway every now and then, and it just has that effectiveness of width, but it just allows us to also just overwhelm them in the middle as well. Alexeyev, by the way, has ended up with a deflected goal. It's his 3rd of the season, and we are in front here at the stadium that I don't know the name of, Wolfsburg. I know Premier League stuff. I'm not very good with anywhere else. I'm a heathen, I know. I should have probably learned all this stuff or made an effort of trying to learn all this stuff, but I didn't, so sue me. Alexeyev does make it 1-0. It's good to see. Lukeba actually gets an assist as well, which is good. Tokic having a good game as well. Palmer having a good game. It's all going very well. But Echeverry has got a free kick here. It's a short one. I tell you what, Kudrikov did really well. It's offside anyway. Kudrikov did really well to kind of match that. He hasn't played for us since the first game of the season. In the competitive season in the Pokal. He's not played for us since then because we've not had a domestic cup competition, because we only have the one domestic cup competition. So yeah, he's doing well for his first appearance, which I'm really happy to see. I don't like the momentum that we might be seeing Wolfsburg starting to build up, so we need to kind of get rid of this and get back onto it. Right, cleared out only as far as Rodriguez. I think we would have won that though. They've had a couple of chances there. I'm not a fan. Right, we start with us with the ball, which is good. Right, Solomon doesn't get bullied out of it. Gets to Castello. Castello gets to Bernal. Castello, by the way, when I say that, on here, he's Lukeba. He's Castello Lukeba. So why is Castello Jr.? I don't know. Alexi pulls it back. It's Cole Palmer, and it is 2-0. 7th of the season for Cole Palmer. And again, the paradox continues, because right now I love him. But the second we have a big game, I know for a fact he's going to let me down, and I'm going to want to sell him. If that wasn't the case, if I knew that there was a good big game in him, I'd take him off the transfer list right now. As it happens, every good game drives up his transfer value, or drives up the chances that someone will pay what we've got him up for, which is over 100 million. At the moment, he's playing like that. But yeah, do we keep him or do we not? That's the thing, because yes, it's against a smaller team, but would someone be doing what he's doing against these smaller teams? Maybe not. Not the Wolfsburg, a small team, you understand, but you know what I mean in the context of this save. But now just mugs him there. Alexeyev now with the ball into Solomon. Solomon All the way back to Palmer. Palmer goes back to Bernal. We're just toying with the ball here. Palmer bides his time. Deflected shot. Ends up with Musiala. Musiala drives it into Solomon. Actually, Undawa manages to intercept. Lovely passage of play. Didn't get any end product though, which is a bit disappointing. It remains just the 2-0. But I'm very happy with our 2-0 so far. We are letting them have a little bit more momentum. They're a better team probably than their league position would suggest, but we are still on top in XG and shots and everything that is relevant. So we'll say the happy thing. I'm going to tell Wahi that I'm not very happy with him. I might actually give Barcola a bit of a chance in this game. I might just make that substitution early on here. I'm going to say that to Medeiros, and everyone else is kind of having a flyer, particularly in the attacking sense. Musiala's not doing great, but he's not doing terribly. I'll just say to everyone else, you're not bad, but you can do better. Right, I think I will give Barcola a chance here and just see what we can get out of him, because I've not seen too much from him so far. I mean, I don't know. Do we maybe change into a deep line forward? His passing's good enough. Do we maybe get a bit more out of him from that? I don't know whether we do, to be fair. I'm just thinking, do we change him so the others can kind of come into play a little bit more? I'm going to give it a go. He can drop into this space here. These guys can run on ahead of him. You don't know if you don't try. We'll give it a chance. We're a couple of goals up. Why not? Why not give it a go? Let's just see whether we can do it. Right. We are in the second half. I knew you said Act 2 then. I work in the theatre. I don't know if you noticed by the fact that I'm wearing a theatre-related hoodie. Act 2. The second half is what I meant to say. Solomon. Oh, that would be a beautiful goal, by the way. Absolutely beautiful goal. By the way, random complete aside here, there's nothing to do with Football Manager. If you get the chance, if you see that at a theatre near you that Mary Poppins the musical is coming, do recommend it. Fantastic show. Not cheap, but you're getting a quality product. That's the weirdest aside in one of these videos I think I've ever done, trying to sell a theatre show when I'm playing Football Manager. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Let's see if we can get a third here, shall we? Right, Musiala, we're passing the ball around beautifully here. It's lovely to see. Bernal into Solomon. Solomon waiting for Musiala to break through. He's so unlucky there, Musiala, not to get a goal in today's game. Barcola, by the way, not really doing much. I'm going to quickly just change him back. The highlight has actually continued, but we'll just see whether maybe we can just see whether the advanced forward actually will do better for him. It was worth giving it a go. He is kind of more naturally a winger, so I was just thinking maybe we put him into something that's not just an out-and-out striker. Maybe that'll help. And we've won a penalty. Now, Cole Palmer has not looked good with penalties so far in this season, but I still think he's one of our penalty takers, so I'll be interested to see who takes the penalty today. There is someone who I think is technically better than him, or at least is ahead in the list. Obviously, I think the first game of the season that you saw in the last video, we did have a penalty, and it was someone else who was at the top of the list, but it was no, it was Elliot Wahi. I've taken him off. It's going to be Cole Palmer. It is Cole Palmer, I can tell. He hasn't scored a penalty for us yet. And then he goes and Penenkas it and scores on camera to call me a liar. What a scoundrel. But he has made it 3-0, so I'm very happy about that. What an absolute scoundrel. I can't believe, considering he's had, I think, 2 penalties that he's missed. And the fact that he's just gone and done that, outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Oh, I'm starting to love him. I don't want to love him because I want to sell him because he's worth a lot of money. I'm starting to love him. Right. Fjorster's going to come on. I'm going to bring off a couple of players for Roland Martel. Again, we're just thinking about rotating the boys. I'm going to take off Musiala. He's done his work today. And Martel can come on. And then we've still got the one change. And we'll just see whether those guys can get anything. We'll just freshen in the midfield up. Gets those guys some game time. Really happy with how this video has gone. Really happy that we've managed to, especially the away from home game in this one. I'm really happy that we've dominated in this one. Striker we still need to sort. It's been a weird save for strikers, actually. It's been a really weird save for strikers. We don't seem to have been able to get the best out of anyone. I'm going to take off... I'll bring on Schnitzer and I'm going to take off... I'll take off Tokic, which seems like a weird thing to do. But Schnitzer can play there if needed. I will actually change him to... No, I'll just leave him as he is, actually. He can play the right back, so let's just do that. I just want to get him some minutes more than anything. I'm not too bothered that he's not in the correct position. Minutes are kind of the more important thing. They've stepped things up in the last few minutes, Wolfsburg. Kind of realising that they've been battered for the entire game. They've got another free kick here. Echeverri just putting it over the bar, which is ideal. I'm not too unhappy about that. I'd quite like us to stop them doing that because you know what I'm like. Game like this, we've dominated. I want a clean sheet. So if we don't have a clean sheet, I'll be a bit mad. But it's the closer we're getting, the more it looks like we're going to get one. I think I've just jinxed it though because we have a highlight with Wolfsburg on the ball and Dower. Tell you what, Kujakov, he's done a good game today. Done a good game. He's had a good game today. He's done a good job. I was between the two sayings, but he has done well today. Really happy with what I've seen from him. Right. Castello Jr. gets it out wide to Forster, or Fjorster as I keep calling him. I don't know what the correct pronunciation for that is. I think I'm ballsing it up, quite frankly. Right. Alexei. Oh, it's poor. It's really poor. And now, Wolfsburg, in the final minute of added time, if we don't get this clean sheet, I'm not going to be a happy bunny. I'm not a happy bunny. Relatively speaking, of course, but we've switched off towards the end of that, and we needed not to. That's my door opening. Ugh. That's disappointing. Echeverri, to be fair, he's looked at a minor threat in the minor kind of chances that we've seen him have, but we have just kind of switched off there. It is a little bit disappointing. I've just realised my taskbar has just decided to pop up for no reason. I'm a little bit disappointed that we've let that happen, but it's still a 3-1 victory. I'm not mad about it. I'm a little bit annoyed. I'd like to clean sheet, but do you know what? We've smashed them, and I'm quite happy. Away from home as well, so I am quite happy with that. Right. Really, really good video. Really happy with the progress we've made. Yes, Leipzig have got a 5-point gap. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Our goal difference is better. They're smashing in the goals, but it's fine. Time will prove us to be the better team. So, what we now need to do, we need to keep the momentum going because it's going quite well. We need to be careful with Musiala when we've got no players to actually rotate in and out of the team. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play forward now until it's going to be a bit further forward in the future than I'd normally go. But I don't know, do I? What I was thinking was I'm going to choke. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, goodness me, straight in my voice then. What I was thinking was Paris Saint-Germain and Schalke, because I thought Paris Saint-Germain, big team. We played them in the semi-final of the Champions League with Arsenal last season, so they'll probably want a bit of personal revenge on me. But I'm also looking at maybe, I don't know, Roma and Berlin maybe. Maybe we come back for that one, because that's not quite as big a gap, and then we can come back in January for something. So, I said before I'd already planned this out. Changing the plan. We're coming back for Roma and Berlin. We're going to play at Stadio Olimpico against Roma. We'll have the home game against Berlin. Then we'll carry on. And then we'll play some games in January as well. We can afford to have this season be a little bit longer because, again, we are settling in. But what we also need to do is we need to start thinking about what we can do to improve the team in terms of additions. And money-wise, that's what we've got. We can probably shift that up a little bit. Maybe not that much. Of course, probably sell that clause as well. Not going to get us much, but it's fine. Better than nothing. We've got a little bit of money to work with. So we need to start having to think of what we want to use that money with. I don't really have a proper idea in mind other than we desperately need more. Tokic is suspended. Hello. Did he get sent off? He got sent off. Yeah, he got sent off against, was it Manchester United? I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. Did he get sent off against? He must have got sent off against Man United. It was the last Champions League game that he did get sent off. Yes, he did. And then we scored another goal just to make me feel better. Complete aside to the actual point. I think it's going to have to be somewhere in here. And the perfect player for me is Noah Darvic. It really is. But does he start? I don't think he does unless Cole Palmer leaves. And if Cole Palmer leaves, we can bring someone else in as well. So it's definitely an attacking-minded player that we're going to be bringing in. I just need to have a think about exactly who it is. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, do not forget to leave a big like on the video for me. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content coming forward in the future. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.